There you go. You might have to tap the screen to accept. It'll continue recording, but you'll have that little image on your screen. Alrighty, so let's start standing because it's Friday. And you'll find your Pilates stance. Root down through the three corners of your feet. Find that lengthening in your tailbone to the floor, ribs to the ceiling. Lift your collarbone up. Engage, really squeeze those heels together and pull your back into. Does everybody have access to a wall? Is it pretty easy? Let's do that really quick. So go to a wall. I'm going to just stand here and walk your feet and your whole back against the wall. It's okay if you don't, you can just do this standing. Walk your feet forward until you're able to get your back against the wall. And it doesn't mean your head has to be back there as well. Breathe your back ribs into the wall, try and get your pelvis against the wall, and even try and get your lower back against the wall. I'd like your knees to stay straight until, if you absolutely have to, you can soften the knees a little bit. Squeeze the heels together, squeeze the inner thighs, and pull those inner thighs up into your rib cage. Just take it, just hold it there for a little bit. See if you can, wiggle your feet forward until you can feel more of that lower back against the wall. All of your ribs and your pelvis, equal weight on the tailbone and the top part of your sacrum. Raise your arms to about shoulder height and then a little bit higher, and really reach the arms forward, and at the same time pull the shoulders back to the wall. Bring your arms all the way down next to your hips. So just do this a couple of times and notice the degree of difficulty in your back connection as you move through your arms. You can make a couple of circles and notice where it's most difficult. Squeeze those inner thighs together, pull them up, press everything you've got into the wall, reverse. If you're able to, you can push your head back a little bit here. And then bring your arms down beside you. Push your arms into the wall and just press yourself forward. I don't want to spend the whole class against the wall, but I wanted you to find that position. And then come back to your mat. And imagine that the wall is behind you and you're pushing your lower back, your tailbone, the top of your sacrum, and your shoulders against the wall. Squeeze those inner thighs and lift them. Keep your heels together, three corners of your feet. Cross your arms, forearm over forearm, and just lift that collarbone up a little bit higher. Big inhale, big exhale. You're just holding this position for a moment. And then I want you to bend your knees and slide your back down the wall. And then straighten your legs. You can practice this at any time during the day against the wall. It's a very good practice to use the wall as a reference point. Recross your arms. Squat a few times. So we're keeping our shoulders and hips and ribs and lower back against the wall. Lengthening the tailbone down to the floor. And then take one foot behind you, reach the elbows forward. Now you're pulling your shoulders away from the wall. Squeeze those inner thighs, even though your legs are apart. See how low you can get to the floor. Find your way down to the floor with control. Excellent. And then lay all the way out long on the floor. Pull your knees into your chest. We'll do a quick stretch here. We'll do a little pre-Pilates. Stretch your lower back and then stretch your arms and legs in opposite directions. You can grab a wrist, and as you pull the arm and leg to that side, expand the ribs and then repeat on the other side. Pull the ribs down. Grab your magic circle and place it on your chest. Place your hands lightly on the top and then use the floor like it was the wall. It's so much easier with gravity. But you know how much effort it took to get all of those bits against the wall. Please put the same effort into it, even though it may not require as much. Pull your head off the mat. Pull your shoulders off the mat. Just go to the tips of your shoulder blades and hold it. Breathe. Push those ribs back. Push the lower back. Find the equal weight between the tailbone and the top of the sacrum. Squeeze the inner thighs together and float your legs up. Exhale, bring the legs back down. Bring the shoulders down. Rest your head. Inhale, Press everything you've got into the mat, squeeze the inner thighs together, pull them up, press equal weight into tailbone and upper sacrum, lift the legs, float them up. There you go. Set the circle aside and start pumping with the arms. Now, ideally, your feet are in line with your eyes, but you know that you've got options. So you take what works for your body, take care of yourself, and think about being at the wall. When you move those arms around, how much more difficult it was to keep that back connected to the wall. Squeeze the inner thighs and pull them up towards you, but reach long from your tailbone to the end of the mat. Reach through the space between your shoulder blades. That bottom bone at your neck is reaching back behind you as well. Your ears are reaching to the ceiling. You've got one more breath cycle here. And then you can fully exhale, pull the knees into your chest. And then just give that back a stretch. Grab your magic circle. And we'll stretch your legs, pull the knee into your chest. We'll do it quickly. So really pull the knee over your chest and the foot over your face. Crease the ankle and then start to straighten both legs. And as you're straightening the legs, think of squeezing the inner thighs. Think of hitching the bottom leg, that hip, up towards your rib cage. So shortening the distance between that hip and the rib cage. So that might help square your hips. If you don't really get that idea of hitching, you may not need to do it very much. You may be already square, bringing the leg across with the hand. Really flex the ankle, pushing the heel away, pushing the hip down, slightly bend the knee, and then fully try and straighten, pushing the heel and hip further away. Morning, Denise. Big inhale. Big exhale. One more time. And then use your ball if you've got it and bring the leg off to the side. Still thinking about squaring your hips. So pushing this sit bone away and hiking the other hip. Think about the effort required to keep your back against the wall. We get a little bit complacent here on the floor because gravity helps, but if you really put effort into it, it'll make a little difference. Switch to the other hand, pull across again, and take your stretch. If you like to lift your hip and push the hip down, bend the knee, or just hold the stretch, you find your stretch, find what works for you. At the same time, pull your ears and the top of your head to the end of the mat. And take your final inner thigh stretch, leg to the side. Ribs fully engaged. I know I often say don't push into your lower back, but if you're still pressing your tailbone down, top of your sacrum, and trying to get those, that area in your lower back down, you should be fine. It's when we just push the lower back down and lift the tailbone that's a problem. Switch legs, bend both knees, bring the other foot over your face, pull the knee into your chest. If you need more time on one side, you just work at your own pace. It's fine. Nobody's watching you. It's your own body, and you have to meet it where it is today. Big inhale. Big exhale. Start to straighten both legs. And then do the hip squaring things, hiking the other hip, pushing that sit bone away, deepening the flexion at the ankle, pulling the leg slightly across till you feel the tension and the horrible stretch or the good stretch. And really use your effort to squeeze your inner thighs together and push everything you've got down into the mat. And then you'll support yourself with your ball as you bring your leg out to the side. Still use the effort to keep your back connected to the mat as if it was the wall. And lengthen from your ears. Reach through the bottom foot. Bring the leg up and across again. And you can bend the knee slightly, and as you straighten the leg, push through the heel. I didn't do this the first time on this leg, but you can certainly do it now. And keep squaring the hips off, squeezing the inner thighs together, lining up your foot, pushing your ribs into the mat. Big inhale, big exhale. Use the ball, support your arm, bring the leg out to the side, lengthen through your ears, reach long through the foot. Good stuff. And then let's put that aside. Grab your magic circle, stretch your legs out long, reach your hands up to the ceiling and squeeze the circle just so. Squeezing it, can you push your back into the floor as if you were at the wall? Reach the legs out long so the tailbone is going to the heels. And I want you to squeeze the inner thighs and pull them up into your body. Start to lift your head and reach the arms over your legs. If you think you can make it all the way up and roll up, I'm laughing because I just lifted my legs, but you're going to reach over your feet. If you need to, bend your knees and then hook the circle over your feet for a moment. Pull with your arms. Imagine that there's a ball or a pillow on your knees and you're resting your head on it. At the same time, sit down on your sit bone, on your tailbone. So think about this for a second. Tailbone is reaching straight down into the floor, but your sit bones are reaching back to the end of the mat. That might feel a little different for you. You might say, how? It's okay, we'll figure that out. Let go of your feet, hold the circle, squeeze those inner thighs. So suck the inner thighs up to the center of your body, and then start to roll back. Wherever you feel tight, whenever you feel tight, bend your knees, lower your back down, reach your arms up and back. Ribs are down. And so think of the effort at the wall, lift the arms, lift the head, squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the legs, reach long through the arms as you come up. Right, so do 4 more of those. If you find the magic circle is confusing for you, you can set it aside. If it helps you, just continue with it. Really work, put the effort into all the body parts, squeezing the inner thighs, pressing the back down. Sometimes starting at the wall, not having gravity there, really illustrates how much effort is actually required and how much more we could do. Nice flow, everyone. Excellent. Is this your 5th one? Stay down if it is. And we'll hold a circle between our hands. Flex the left foot, point the right, single leg circle. So as you start to lift the right leg, check in with your back. Squeeze the inner thighs, make sure every bit of your back is on the mat. Circle to the left, down, around, and up. Use your magic circle handles, this inside of your circle, as a guideline. Inhale on the downstroke, exhale on the upstroke, reverse when you're ready. And remember that you're standing at the wall, pushing your back into the wall, pushing all the bits. And when you're finished, you can take a leg stretch here, hook your foot inside the circle. You know, there's lots of options. You can pull your knee to the side, just stretch through the other leg if it's possible for you. And then switch legs. Right leg is straight, foot flexed, left foot long, heel in the arch. As you start to lift the leg, can you connect your back into the mat? Circle, inhale and exhale. As you're circling, can you reach that leg longer? Squeeze the inner thighs, put the effort to pushing your back into the imaginary wall. You've got a floor, but somehow it just doesn't seem to connect sometimes. So put lots of effort into getting everything to connect and take your stretch. And we're going to get into rolling like a ball using the circle on our chest for a moment. Bend your knees, place your circle on your sternum and push your back into the mat. Feet are, yes, that's right. Squeeze your heels together and pull them towards your bum without moving them. Pull your bum towards your circle, towards your heels. Lift your head, lift your shoulders, and then just pause there for a second. Tailbone down, press what remains on the mat into the mat. Start to pick up your feet, lift them up to about tabletop, and then start to rock here until you're able to come up and remain on the back of your sit bones, right? Stay there, just hold it for a second and pull the circle, squeeze it into your chest. Use that reference and hold it there. Now don't release it. Arms are squeezing. Pull your ribs away from the circle. Leave that part of your back rounded like that. Put the circle now between your heels and your hamstrings. As you're making these changes, we're trying not to change the previous effect that we've had on our back. So the back is rounded, you're squeezing the circle. I suggest removing it unless you know that you can hang on to it. Go ahead and roll 5 times. Nice. Squeeze the circle, even if you're not coming all the way up, even if you don't have the circle there. And then you can balance on the last one. Take the circle out from behind your legs and stretch it, your arms out forward. Hold it. Knees are bent, feet are, you're balancing on the back of your sit bones. Reach the arms an inch further and pull your ribs, your back, your lower back, and your pelvis backwards. Go ahead and stretch the left leg out. Keep the right knee bent. Squeeze the circle a little tighter and lower yourself down to the mat with control. Good, hold it here. Squeeze your inner thighs, stretch the right leg longer. I need to make sure that you know that your tailbone is pushing down into the mat, but your sit bones are reaching to your left foot. Arms go up to the ceiling. Switch legs, switch again, bring the arms forward. So this is the one where we do 3, bringing the arms only over the right leg. And then switch, bring the arms over the left leg. Arms go up, you switch the leg. Can we connect the arms into the abs? When you've done your 3, pull both legs together, squeeze the heels together, bring the circle over your shins. As you squeeze, reach further with the arms, push the ribs back more, get your tailbone down, reach both arms out, stretch both legs out. Inhale to stretch the legs out, exhale to bring the legs in. Try to keep your feet knee height. Squeeze the arms and reach the fingertips up to the ceiling. Use oppositional effort to push your ribs, your tailbone, your lower back, down your pelvis. Last one. And then you can rest. Place the magic circle underneath the back of your head. Sort of at the base of your, sorry for those of you with ponytails, at the base of your skull, at the top of your neck, so that when you let go of it, it sits pretty much in place. You don't have to do anything. If you move your chin up and down, you'll notice that the circle moves a little bit. You want to find the optimal position for your neck. You're trying to push the handle of the circle away with the back of your neck. It's that familiar position. And then place your hands palms up into the other handle. That's right. Push your ribs down. You can have whatever position you like for your legs. We're not really working our legs right now. Push the ribs down, tailbone down, sit bones towards the end of the mat. Lifting your head and shoulders, you're not pulling with your arms. You just want to find the combination, and you can do this a few times. Pressing your head back, gently pulling the arms, pressing the hands into the circle, pressing the ribs down, not curling the tailbone up. Stay up on the next one. Squeeze your feet together and stretch your legs up to the ceiling. Hold it here. Now find that space between the shoulder blades and the bone at the back of your neck, pressing back. Your head should feel very very comfortable. Hold the right leg up, lower the left. Squeeze the inner thighs and switch. And switch. And switch one more time. So we've done 3 sets here. Keep the legs up there. Remove the circle from behind your head. Hold it and press it against your shins. Nothing else changes. Push it into your right shin, lower the left. Push it into your left shin, lower the right. You know what's going on here? Try and use the circle, because as uncomfortable as it is, it's only 3 reps and it trains a different part of your upper body. And when you're finished on the left, bend your knees, rest your head, put the magic circle between your shins, hands behind your head, and we'll use our hands like the magic circle. Lift your head and shoulders. Squeeze the circle, lower the legs. 1, 2, 3, lift them quickly. Release the circle, squeeze and lower, hold 1, 2, 3. Release the circle and lift. Keep going. We're going to do one more like this. And then you're going to remove the circle, squeeze the legs together, lower them quickly, hold it, lift them slowly. Lower them quickly, lift them slowly. Find the same connection in your neck. Find the same connection in your body as if you were pressing against the wall. Last one, squeeze those inner thighs, pull them into your guts, and then rest your head and shoulders for a beat. Bring your knees and feet to tabletop, hip width apart, switch your hands. Lift your head and shoulders. You can continue to use the circle behind your head anytime. Right knee and left leg out. Try and touch your knee and switch. You have 5 of these. Anchor the opposite hip. Right, and then grab behind your legs and pull yourself up. Take a quick stretch and pull yourself up to a seated position. Bring your feet as wide as the mat for spine stretch forward. Place the magic circle on your chest. Give it a good squeeze with your arms and then bring it down between your legs. Flex your feet. Get as low as you can. Get down lower, get down lower. Once you're there, pull your ears to the end of the mat, flex your feet, then start to pull your lower abdominals and your ribs away from the circle, your sternum away from the circle, the shoulders back, and you'll rebuild your spine. Switch hands, squeeze the circle with your arms, hug it in as deeply as you can, and go down towards your legs as low as you can. Keep squeezing it though with your arms. And then you don't release your arms, you release your chest, your ribs away from the circle, stack yourself back up. Set the circle aside. You can continue with it if you like. Sit up tall, ears to the ceiling, fingertips on the mat. Flex your feet and drag your fingertips forward between your heels. As you go forward, try and have the same connection in your ribs. Inhale, stack yourself back up. You have 2 more of these. Press those fingertips down, flex your feet. Tailbone and sit bones and hamstring press down into the floor. Ears pull you forward. Good. On the next one, hold it there. Keep the arms reaching. Lift the arms to about your toe height. Point your toes, point your ankles. Pull your abs back as if you're still pulling away from the circle. Start to lean back onto the back of your sit bones. I want you to have that intention of reaching forward through the arms though. As you go back, find the back of your sit bones. Balance, pull those abdominals in. See if you can lift your legs, grab the back of your knees. Walk your hands up towards your ankles. If you need to, bend your knees a little bit, soften your knees. Lift the collarbone, keep the bottom half of your body rounded. You're going to roll. These are open leg rockers. Rotate the inner thigh up towards the ceiling. Push the legs forward as you come up. Push those hamstrings forward. Push them into your hands. Lift your collarbone up, and this should do it. Hold it here. Bring your legs together. It's okay if you have soft knees. Bring your feet in line with your eyes. You can hold the back of your legs if you like. You can straighten your legs if you like. Squeeze the inner thighs. Pull them up into your guts, pull your ribs back. If you can let go for a second, reach with your hands a lot. And imagine again that you're at the wall and you're pushing your shoulders and your ribs back into the wall. See if you can lower your back 1 inch and come up. And then grab the back of your legs, walk your hands down, lower your entire upper body to the mat, squeeze your legs together, press your arms out wide and flex your feet. Push up with your heels, down with your sit bones, all the ribs are down. Bring both legs to the right, eyes to the left, and switch. This is TikTok. This doesn't really belong here, but I like it as a prep for corkscrew. So as the legs are moving, you are rotating below your belly button. Rib cage and shoulders stay anchored. When you go from left to right, you're done with these. Bring your arms alongside your body, press into your arms, point your feet, turn them out, and find those inner thighs. Pull them down into the floor. Inner thighs are pulling down, tailbone, hip bones, ribs, lower back, shoulders. Take both legs to the right. Sweep them down to the end of the mat, to the left, and center. Keep going with these. You might notice that one side of your pelvis lifts as you rotate. That's normal. That's actually what we're after. We're not trying not to lift the shoulders or the ribs, and we're really trying to squeeze the inner thighs together so the legs move as one unit. And finish when you go left to right. Pull your knees into your chest and take a stretch. Pull your knees up towards your earlobes. Lift the tailbone up. And then grab behind your knees and pull yourself up to a seated position. Saw. Flex your feet, bring them as wide as the mat, and sit up tall. Place your hands behind your head and imagine the wall behind your back. We're just going to tip to the left, bringing the right elbow up to the ceiling. Pause here for a second, and I want you to rock on your sit bones from right to left, and then center yourself. Lift the right elbow a little higher, and then come center. You're going to tip your elbow to the right, check your hips, tip a little bit more, and then come center. Now rotate to the right. Bring your left elbow to your left knee. Left elbow, left knee. Hold it here. Imagine your ears being pulled between your feet and sit heavier on the right side. Sit up tall. Rotate to the left. Right elbow to the right knee. Ear to the end of the mat to your toes and up. Now rotate to the right. Bring your left elbow to the inside between your legs. Sit up tall. Rotate to the left. So you see where we're going with this? Rotate to the right, and this time try and bring your left elbow to your right knee. You're going to move your shoulders. You're probably moving your hands on the back of your head, but try to stay as square as possible and put more weight on the left hip. And then do the same thing to the left. You'll find your little cheats here. It's okay to do that, but make sure you put more weight on the right hip. Then sit up tall, stretch the arms out wide, and go into your full flow. Rotate. Sweep the arms across. If you're able to, push the outside of your pinky finger into the pinky toe and push and reach a little further, reach a little further. Inhale, sit up tall. Rotate to the left. Push and rotate and reach and reach and reach. And inhale, sit up tall. Oh, nice, everyone. Wow, that is much more stable in the opposite hip and much better through the back shoulder. One more to the right and one more to the left. Bring your legs together when you're done. Reach the arms long over your feet and roll down onto your back. When you're on your back, raise one arm up overhead and bend the other knee. You're gonna roll over that extended arm and onto your stomach. Fancy transition. Bring your feet to the width of the mat and make sure that you're centered as you bring your feet together. Rest your forehead on your hands for a second, and then bend your knees and put the magic circle between your heels and your bum. Then put your hands back underneath your forehead and use all the effort you used earlier to push your back into the wall. The wall is now the air behind your back, above your back. Squeeze the circle, but keep even pressure at the top of your sacrum and your tailbone as if the wall were there. And then you can release and do that a couple of times. And then when you put your feet inside the circle and pull on it, we're going to stretch the thighs and we're going to keep that back long. So what happens with most people when they pull on this is that the lower back sinks into the floor. You need to keep that lower back pressing up to the ceiling as if you were against a wall. And you can call this the last one. And then remove the circle. Place your elbows, your hands just roughly in front of your shoulders, just on the mat. And stretch those legs out long. So treat your back the same way that we did when we were against the wall. Roll a marble forward with your nose, start to lift your head, lift your chest. Don't go too high. I want you to go to the bottom rib, no higher than that. Stretch the legs an inch longer, stretch your ears an inch longer, turn your head to the right, look over your shoulder, down at the mat, underneath your chest, to the left shoulder, over the shoulder, and forward, and reverse. And as you're rotating the neck, you're keeping your head and shoulders exactly the same. Bring your elbows a little bit more forward, Jen and Denise. Good, finish when you go left to right. Good, we're gonna go right into single leg kicks because you're almost there. Put your forehead down. Bring your hands into two fists or just rest your palms on the floor, but make sure that your thumbs just touch the top of your head. And then separate your hands, push into the forearms in your hands and lift your chest. It's a very shallow lift of your chest. Most of you usually bring your arms in a little bit closer. Don't move your body, but pull your forearms towards you and stretch the legs out long. See if that floats your legs up. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. It's okay. Just stretch them long. Kick the right, kick the left. As you're kicking, there shouldn't be any bouncing in your head and your chest because your arms are working so hard. You're trying to drag yourself forward with those arms as you push down with the arms and keep that lower back pulling upwards to the ceiling. Head is not hanging, it's lifted and long. Last right, last left. And then you can just keep your forehead down for this one. Bring your hands behind your back and overlap them. Completely flat, one hand on top of the other. And then drape your elbows down, squeeze your heels together and bend your knees, hold it. Here we are holding a magic circle, imaginary magic circle. Squeeze the circle, squeeze it a little more, squeeze it a little bit more. And then let it go, straighten those legs and reach your fingertips to your heels. Let the shoulders, let that reach of the arms lift your chest. You can turn your head if you like, bend your elbows, overlap those hands and squeeze the magic circle. Squeeze 1, 2, 3. Straighten the legs, straighten the arms. The reach of the arms is what lifts your head and shoulders. Good, do it twice more. Nice. On this last one, really reach those arms, not only back towards your heels, but a little bit above, a little higher. Lift the chest a little more. There you go. And then push yourself back into a recovery pose, a counter pose. Yeah, and then this one, sit up for a moment. If you've got your ball nearby, place it on your stomach and bring your legs close enough that you're going to feel that when you go back into your counter pose and that ball is on your thighs. It's hard to see mine because it's all matching the same colors I'm wearing. Pull your ribs and your stomach away from the ball and push with your hands to push your heels, your bum down into your heels and let your head just dangle. That should encourage that stretch in your lower back. Ah, nice. Good stuff. And then we'll come up onto our knees for thigh stretch. If you've got the ball handy, place it between your inner thighs. And you're welcome to put the circle between your heels and your glutes, if you like it there or not, up to you. Walk your feet, your knees closer together. And it is totally acceptable to have your toes touching, heels apart. Hands on the front pockets. Press those hip sockets into your hands, or pretend they're pockets. Push your kneecaps down. Lift your pubic bone up. Send your tailbone down. Pretend that your back is against the wall. You know how much effort it took to get that lower back against the wall. You can keep your hands wherever you like. I'm going to reach mine forward, reach the ears up to the ceiling, and I'd like you to think of that bone at the base of your neck. And that's the strain that's pulling you up from that bone up to the ceiling. As you lean back, I want to see a straight line on that spine. Get that tailbone down even more. You've got 5 of these. On the 5th one, I want you to stay back. I'm going to say this is the 5th one. Squeeze the ball even more, press the kneecaps down, and pull the waistband up without using your hands. Pull the upper ribs back. Pull the shoulders back and reach the arms forward 2 inches more. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and come all the way up. Lay down on your back and we'll do a basic bridge. Holding the ball between the inner thighs once again. Bring your feet all the way together, squeeze the ball, and then separate your feet, just one sort of foot wiggle. Press into your hands and the back of your shoulders. Just take a second here to send your sit bones towards your heels. And then press into your lower back, just move the pelvis and then put it back down. Just do that small movement. As you're moving the pelvis, don't move your gaze. Keep your head heavy and shoulders heavy. Next time you push into your lower back, continue lifting your pelvis, peeling your back off the mat until you get to your shoulder blades. Make sure you feel both of them. Make sure you feel the back of your arms. Lengthen your neck a little bit more. Squeeze the ball and push your knees over your toes. Keep the knees driving over your toes as you peel your body, smooth your piece of tape, back down onto the mat, down onto your tailbone, and up again. So really think of peeling a piece of tape smoothly from your tailbone up to your shoulder blades, and then smoothing it back down onto the mat. Or think of, somebody says a bicycle chain you're lifting, and each part of the bicycle chain is a segment of your spine. And I want you to continue into the next one and hold it. Once you're up in your bridge, hold. Squeeze the ball. You really have to squeeze the ball and hope it's in the right spot. Keep the left foot down and just extend the right leg. Squeeze the ball. That's right. Hold it. Don't move. Press into your arms. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Switch legs. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Put that foot down and roll down through your spine. Nice. Pull your knees into your chest and take a stretch. That's enough of that. Grab the back of your legs, pull yourself up to a seated position, and we'll go into our spine twist. Just trying to see what happened to, we lost somebody there. Okay, let's put the magic circle around the outside of your feet so you can push out on it. And I suggest that you have it sort of at mid-foot, so you have equal pressure. So your feet are basically vertical as you push out. It's a lot of work on your abductors, so you might need to soften the knees. Put your hands behind your head, pretend that the circle is there. Lengthen your ears to the ceiling. Now tip your pelvis back and just keep your length in your spine. You're going to round your back. You're going to go a little bit further. Hold it, push the legs out a little bit more. And now I need you to bring your hairline right down to your knees. Keep pressing the back of your neck into your hands. This is neck pull. Sit up tall. Reach your ears to the ceiling and then just tip the pelvis back and just go to the back of your sit bones. Maybe you'll be able to go to your sacrum on this second one. Hold it there. Keep the head gently pressing into your hands as you bring your hairline down to your knees. And then snap your back up straight. Last one. Push out on that circle. Tip the pelvis back. Maybe you can go a tiny bit further. Hold it. Hairline comes to your knees. Back straightens up. Remove the circle. That's a relief. Bring your feet together. Keep your feet flexed. Spine twist requires that your feet don't move. Put your hands behind your head and lengthen your head to the ceiling. Go ahead and rotate to the right. This is a breathing exercise. Extend your arms, look at your right hand, exhale and twist a little more. Exhale, twist a little more. Exhale, twist all the air out. Come to center, big inhale. Exhale, twist to the left, a little more, a little more, a little more, and center. Inhale in the center, exhale, twist. Think of lifting your collarbone up and getting taller as you go. We're not trying to saw across, we're just trying to twist, lifting the chest up as we twist. Good, and when you've twisted to the left, you're done, and you can lay down on your side for a side kick series. We always start on the right, but it's fine if you're not. Just take a second to line up your back with the edge of the mat, and then bring your feet forward and press the bottom leg into the mat, reach the top leg so the arch is in the heel, hold it for a second. Place your hand on your sacrum and make sure that that is as vertical as possible. And then I want you to push the top hip away and hike the bottom hip up towards your waist. So try and shorten the distance in the bottom waist. And then anchor your top hand, lift your top leg, hold it. Push the bottom leg down. Bring the top leg forward and hold it. Stick the tailbone out behind you and keep the hips square and go ahead and float. You have 8 of these. I still want you to hike the bottom hip up towards your waist and lengthen the top leg. That's all I'm going to say about that. Keep pulling the ears long. When you finish your 8, put the heel in the arch of the bottom foot so I know you're ready to move on. Once it's there, do the same thing to the hips again. Lift that top leg, lengthen it to lower. Make sure that if you need to use your hand, make sure that your top hip does not rock back. You may not be able to lift your leg quite as high with this concept. Keep pulling the bottom hip, shortening the distance of your waist. Keep pulling that bottom hip towards the ribs. When you're finished your 8th one there, rest your leg so I know you're ready to move on. Bring your leg up to hip height and bring it back in line with the spine and hold it. Can you push the bottom leg down more? Reach the top leg a little longer, not further back, just longer. And now tiny circles, just moving the very top part of your leg and then reverse. Very nice. Kick the leg up to the ceiling. This is, everyone requests these ones. Push your weight onto your front foot and then lift the bottom leg. As you're lifting, if it's possible for you, keep shortening the distance in the bottom waist. That should lift it up off the mat. Keep squeezing your inner thighs together as you lift the leg higher and higher and higher. When you're at your highest point, from the inner thigh, lift 5 times. And when you finish those, 3 circles to the back end of the mat. Lowering the leg, we're not doing that. We're just lifting it. It looks like we're lowering it, but we're really trying to get higher. And then bring your legs together and bring them in line with your spine for fish. So it's really important that you keep your feet together in the same legs, the same length. Lift the bottom waist off the mat. Lift both legs. Keep the bottom waist lifted. Lengthen those legs as you lift, lift, lift. Now keep the legs up, roll over onto your stomach and do your inner thigh beats. 10 of these. And then you can roll over to the other side. Line up your back with the back edge of the mat. And then press the bottom foot into the mat, bottom leg. Make sure the heel fits into the arch. Use your hand to check around for your sacrum. Even put your hand on your top of your hip and push it away from your waist. So the top waist you're trying to make longer, the bottom waist you're kind of trying to shorten. And then lift the top leg, bring it to hip height and hold it. Now, as you bring the leg forward for your first kick, hold it. What happened to your waist? That's going to tell a lot about what's going on in your hip. Go ahead and kick back and forward. As you kick forward, send your tailbone back. Try and keep your hips square by working on that waist thing. It sounds like you're working your waist, but you're in fact squaring off your hips. That looks good. When you finished your 8, bring your heel into the arch of the bottom foot. Turn your knee and toe up to the ceiling. Keep the waist on the bottom long as you lift the leg and lower. You have 8 of these. Reach that leg long. Squeeze your inner thighs together even when they're apart. Same effort goes into your back and pelvis. I should have mentioned that earlier as when we started at the wall. I'll know you're done when your leg is resting on the bottom. And then we'll lift the leg to, good, lift the leg to hip height, bring it back in line with your spine. Push the bottom leg down more. Stretch this leg a little longer, squeeze the inner thighs, and 5 small circles from the very, very top of your leg. You should feel your glutes right away, and then you reverse. And then we'll kick the leg up to the ceiling, bend the knee, put the foot down, and find the same squaring of the hips, the lifting of the bottom waist. As you increase the level of the bottom leg, you're squeezing the inner thighs together, and just pulse up from there 5 times. Squeezing the inner thighs together. You're not using your foot, you're using the inner thighs and your abdominals, and then you can make 3 circles to the back of the mat, lifting the leg, hardly dropping it, trying to keep that bottom waist off. And then bring your legs together for fish. Squeeze the legs long. And then as you lift the legs, try not to drop the bottom waist. Just keep lifting, lifting, and lengthen your ears. Very nice. And then you can roll over onto your back and take a quick figure 4. So even in your figure 4, you're thinking about your back and your neck. And then bend your knees, place your feet down, grab the back of your knees. Actually, I think I'm going to start you sitting for our teaser. I always end up facing the other way. Squeeze your heels together. You can be in Pilates stance, but really squeeze your heels. Hold behind your knees and sit up tall. And then imagine the wall behind you again and push those stubborn bits into the wall. Start to lean back, but you're not losing any height. And then when you're on the back of your sit bones, I want you to just hold your arms there. Don't move your head and shoulders anymore, but try and get the middle back closer to the mat. And then you should be super stable. Pull those lower abs down. Try and get your pelvis, your triangle, flat on the mat. It's not going to be, but your effort is going to pay off. Squeeze the inner thighs and straighten one leg and switch. And know that by the 3rd one here, I'd like you to loosen your grip so you're able to lift the legs without holding on, and maybe hold one leg up and then add the other. Soften your knees if you need to. So I want you to feel, now reach your fingertips towards your toes. I want you to feel like you're shortening the distance between the front of your hips and your ribs. Shorten that distance. Keep shortening that distance. Lower your back down an inch and then come up. We have 3 of this. Try and lower your back a little further. Squeeze the inner thighs. Try and not move your legs. Just move your upper back. And then grab the back of your knees and pull yourself up. Take a quick little stretch. Good. And because that was so much flexion, we roll over now into our swimming. So this is all about length, remember? And everybody bends their knee a little bit. So really try not to bend your knees. Just try and find the lift in the back of your leg. Go ahead and stretch your arms, stretch your legs, and think of there being a wall behind your back. You're lifting your ribs, you're lifting that lower back up, you're finding that pelvic stability. You can start with with a pair of leg and arm on the mat. Stretch the opposite pair, lifting your head up and finding more length. If you like, you can lift both arms and legs and think of length as you're lifting and paddling through the water. Look forward. So it's inhale, not too fast, slower than that, Jasmine. Yeah, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's right. Inhale and fully exhale. Push yourself back into a recovery pose. And think of the ball being between your legs and your chest. And then we'll do our leg pull up, which we'll work towards. So come up onto your hands and knees. And if you're on an, is anyone on an elevated mat? You are, Jasmine. Just make sure you have room for your leg to extend. You don't go off the end. Okay, so you're on your hands and you have to push into your fingertips and all the knuckles and then squeeze the arms together. Right. Pull your ribs up to the ceiling. And push the space between your shoulder blades a little bit up to the ceiling, not a lot. And push the back of your neck up to the ceiling. Actually, you know what? I'll review that real quick. Go ahead and let the shoulder blades come together. So it's like your chest goes down to the mat. And then you protract, push into your hands and separate the shoulder blades as much as possible. Do that a couple of times. And then I want you to find the mid spot. You have to feel really strong here. Squeeze the arms together. Arms are straight and there's weight on all of your knuckles. Pulling the ribs up, keeping the shoulders as they are. Press the back of your head up to the ceiling a little bit more. And then go ahead and straighten one leg. Curl the toes under, hold it there. Straighten that leg so much that it's really easy to straighten the other leg. Bring the hips down a bit, Jasmine. And squeeze the arms together. That's it. Lift your head a bit, Jen. Lift the back of your head, everyone. There we go. Lift your collarbone forward. Hold for 3. Squeeze the arms together, 2, 1, and then lower the knees down and sit back. A lot of that is just shoulder strength and connection of the upper powerhouse. Turn around so you're sitting on your bum and bring your hands behind your back. So this is leg pull up front. And this requires a lot of shoulder mobility and upper back strength. It's a front plank. I suggest that you have your hands, can you see my hands? My fingertips are pointing out to the side. They can be on a slight forward angle. They can be on a slight backward angle, but they shouldn't be completely back or completely forward unless you have that kind of flexibility. You need your hands far enough back. And when we do that, we know when our hands are behind our back, the front of the shoulder has to roll forward. It's the way our shoulder joints are made unless you have a shoulder replacement. Press into the hands, lift the collarbone, pull the ribs in, press your heels down. And now find your front triangle and push it into your back triangle. And then just see if you can curl your pubic bone up off the mat, your tailbone up off the mat. Lift your collarbone up. That's it. Squeeze the arms together and then lower yourself back down. Very nice. Those are tricky. We'll work on those. Come up onto your knees. And we'll do side kick into our mermaid. Squeeze your inner thighs together and extend the top leg out to the side. This top foot has to be parallel with the end of the mat. And what do I mean by parallel? I mean that outside of that foot. So that might feel like you're slightly pigeon-toed. That outside of that foot is so important. You really have to push into it. And then try and square your hips. Stretch your arms out wide. You're going to bring the other hand down to the mat, away from that extended leg. Once your hand is on the mat, keep pushing into the outside of your foot and reach the upper arm to the ceiling a little bit more. Keep reaching and shift the weight over onto your bent knee. See if you can lift that leg. Hold it there. Can you reach your head further in the direction that it's pointing? Reach it longer and just hold. 3, 2, 1, and then bring that leg down, bend the knee, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So I'm prepping you for side leg kicks. We did do that last week, but I think it needs a little more prep. Squeeze the inner thighs, So as you bring the leg out to the side, make sure that the foot is completely parallel and you're really sinking into the outside edge. And then you'll wonder what that has to do with anything, but it sets you up in the right spot for your glutes. So once you bring your hand down, just hold for a second before you lift the leg, push into that outside edge a lot. And then reach your head in the direction that it's pointing. Pull with your ears to shift the weight onto your knee. And then as you lift that leg, keep thinking of that outside edge. Hold, 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 and then come up. Nice. Sit down on your side for a mermaid. And whatever side you sit down on, switch. Always pick the same side. Yeah. We always start on our favorite side. Grab your ankle, reach the arm up to the ceiling. So this is that hip side thing. You're trying to drop the ankle side of your hip and lift the outside hip as you reach over and stretch. Take a second to inhale and expand the outer ribs. Exhale and expand the outer ribs. Come up straight. Do that again. The hand that's holding your ankle, you really have to use that arm. Keep the shoulder away from your ear and pull with that. And then you have to be able to push the legs down in opposition. On this next one, you'll go over, you'll bend your elbow, your forearm rotates to look at your ankle, and then look at the ceiling, and then forward and straighten the arm. And you can put that hand down far away from you, reach the other arm up and over as a counter stretch. And then bring your hands behind your back and swing your legs over to the other side. So in a perfect world, our knees are stacked, our legs are stacked, and we can push our hips down, but we're not all perfect. So we try to separate our legs so you can get that connection in your hips. And if you're there, I'm gonna move over a little bit so you can see that right now this is incorrect. I wanna be straight up with the side of my body. So think about hiking your hips as you reach over. You're trying to lift the outside hip and drop the inside hip. And come up straight. And as you reach over, inhale and expand those ribs. Exhale, expand them a little bit more. And so then on this one, you can bend the elbow and the forearm is a reflection of your collarbone as you twist. You're still pulling with your hand on your ankle. And then reach up and over, hand comes down on the mat, the other arm goes up for a counter stretch. The bottom arm has to push that bottom arm. And then turn around and we'll do 3 seals up to standing. Find the long curve in your back. Don't worry about clapping. Worry about stretching. And then you can push yourself up to a standing position.